Even more Spirit Halloween ISE and animatronic leaks have just been revealed. Let's take a look at them and let's analyze them. So straight off the bat, we've got the front part of the ISE. So here we've got the archway, we've got the Madison Scare Park sign, we've got Bullseye. I think the other animatronic on the other side is the Crypt Countess. But why, Spirit? Why did you put a clown at the front of the theme? I'm not too upset with that. Bullseye looks pretty cool, and he's actually wearing an eye patch, and his hands are relatively big. He's a bit more cartoony than I kind of wanted him to be. And in my concept, I initially thought the eye patch was his eye hanging out, which I feel like would have been a lot more scarier and just more like Bullseye related. But it's not too bad. And we can actually see the darts on the Bullseye board, which is around his neck. And his shoes are just like small, simple blue shoes, but he's got a blue, pink and yellow color scheme, which I think is a pretty unique clown color scheme, because it's usually just like the blacks, the reds and the oranges. But I really do like this color scheme of a clown. He just kind of reminds me of like an arcade clown. But on in the back we've got the nun, who we've already heard about, and I don't really care about her myself. Let's move on to more important animatronics. We've got the Spirit Halloween Jack the Reaper animatronic. They've made a mascot animatronic this year, and he looks to be quite big. I think the nun is about 6 feet tall, and he's like maybe 2-3 feet above her, so he must be 7, 8 or 9 feet tall, which is really cool. And just right next to him, right in the center, is the Madison Scare Park train, which, oh my goodness, the detail on it. And it's actually a very long train, which you can actually go inside, because we will be looking at side images of the theme very shortly, and you can see the length of this train, and oh my goodness, this looks amazing. But I just kind of got caught off guard. I forgot to talk about the Crypt Countess, I do believe her name is, at the front there, and she just kind of reminds me of an animatronic we've seen from Halloween costumes, like a wailing banshee. I don't know why I'm getting them vibes, but she looks amazing. I wonder if her hair being over her face will have something to do with her animation, or maybe she's just having a bad hair day in this photo, but she does look really cool. It just kind of reminds me of Halloween 2014. I don't know, there's just something about her. Maybe it's because we got a lot of girl animatronics, little girl animatronics that year, but I don't know, there's just something about her that reminds me of 2014. But I have also just noticed there now, I think not only will the Madison Scare Park sign light up, but see the front of the train? I do believe those 4 lights on the front of the train will actually be glowing up, or maybe even flickering. And also the Madison Scare Park sign might also be flickering, which, oh my goodness, that would be so cool if they did. The risers look pretty cool. I mean, the theme is very detailed. We've got the new step pads. There's a sign which is not really comprehensible on the top of the train, and we can kind of see in the inside there appears to be like a few things, maybe things interactive or actual animatronics. But oh, I'm all for it this year. This year is just a new dawn for Spirit. And our next image is one of the 2 side views of the ISE, and my goodness, this is a way more detailed image. It's just very vibrant, which is a bit annoying. And then there's a watermark of Adrian from Spirit, so credit to Adrian from Spirit if he's the original person to find these photos. Thank you so much. And also, we see from the side view, the Madison Scare Park sign is a 3D sign. And on the side of the archway, we can also see the image what showed all the animatronics and their names, which we did get leaked back maybe about a week ago. And just behind that sign, we can see Jack the Reaper in better detail. And we can see that he holds a scythe, and he's standing kind of a bit hunched over, and I just think it's really cool. I just love the look of him, and he's not actually as big as I thought he was in the first image. And then behind Jack, we see monkey business, people are saying. He seems to be holding a gift. I initially thought he would be some sort of monkey animatronic, but he doesn't seem to be. And then also behind Monkey Business is some unknown animatronic. I don't really know who it is at the time, but I'm sure if I find out who it is when I'm editing this video, I'll pop them up on the screen now. But then way back to the front again, at the main arch, we get to see a better view of Bullseye as well. Now he seems to be hunched over just like Mutant Zero, so I've got a theory that maybe he shares the same mechanism and he could be a reskin of Mutant Zero, which I wouldn't really mind, but I'd kind of prefer if he had some sort of animation kind of similar to his idea, like something to do with the bullseyes, but I kind of doubt it. And then next to him we've got the Crypt Countess. The side view of her doesn't really show much. We kind of got a side view of her in the main photo, but she still looks as cool as she did in the first photo we got of her. And then just behind her there, we have some sort of thing to do with a newspaper, which I've been hearing, which seems to be pretty cool. And then we just get a bit more of the ISE on down. And then I think we've got the back of Headcase Harry there. But oh my goodness, the theme's coming out to be really awesome. And also, way behind that unknown animatronic who I don't know the name of, there seems to be the other part of the ISE. So this seems to be a very long ISE, which I'm so here for. The step pads look great, the ISE looks great, the animatronics seem to be pretty good. I just can't wait to see the inside of the train and just the whole ISE in its full glory. So here's the other side of the ISE. Again, it's got the Adrian from Spirit watermark, and on the walls we can actually see water damage. We can also see a giant pipe, which just really adds to the theme, and the theme's just kind of destroyed. Most places have dents or just chunks taken out of it, which I absolutely love. And I just want to real quickly note, I know I've been talking about Bullseye a lot. He seems to have some sort of head movement, like a cuckoo clock, or just a head lunging outwards movement, because he has a very exaggerated neck. And I don't see other reason other than head movement for that to be the case. And there seems to be some sort of blue lighting on the subway cart, which I think will really just add to the aesthetic. Maybe some live wires, because we are getting electrified sculpture animation. And then on back behind the nun and behind that giant rubble looking thing, we see the gatekeeper. And his side view, he looks okay. He's definitely a pumpkin animatronic, which I don't get for a gatekeeper. And then behind the archway thing, that weird thing I was talking about, there seems to be Headcase Harry, and I'm just very mixed on him. He does look really good, because we did get a leaked boxed image, and he seems to be very bloody, which is very rare, not only in clowns, but also in modern day Spirit, which I'm absolutely here for. So our second last image isn't really an as exciting one, but it is a leaked photo of Sadistic Sadie, who we did hear about a while back when her name got leaked. But also another thing, I initially thought she was this animatronic who I'm showing up on the screen. It turns out to be a clown animatronic called Trick or Treat Pete. But it seemed like Sadistic Sadie would be something like Grave Watcher, who in fun fact she's actually right next to. She might have the motionette animation and then just some audio, or she might not have animation at all. She could be aesthetic, or she could just be some sort of jump scare doll animatronic. We'll just have to see. I don't really know what she could possibly do, because there's many things doll animatronics have done or could do, so we'll just have to see. But on the box, at the closer image, it seems to be some sort of skull face, so maybe she turns her head around, or I could just be misinterpreting something else. We will just honestly have to see. She's a very confusing animatronic for such a simple, small doll. But we will see soon enough. She could potentially be in Wave 2, which I'd be quite disappointed with, because she's just pretty much a tabletop. So last but certainly not least, we have Headcase Harry. Now I was quite disappointed initially that he was a clown, but I eat my own words, because look at him. Even in this grainy low quality photo, he has two sewn on heads, blood all over his body, a very creepy stance, a nice colour scheme, and just a small little top hat thingy. But oh my goodness, he looks so cool. Although the image is so grainy and low quality, and I'm not even going to bother read any text because you cannot even make out the image of the clown properly, never mind the actual text. But we do see a little small photo on the box which shows the two heads, so there's definitely animation going on there. Maybe the two heads talk to each other, maybe he covers one of the heads, or like covers just the sewn on head and then like pulls down his arm to reveal it, because his arm's very oddly positioned. But also he does have a lot of blood in a specific area around the side of him, but he is also holding a knife, so maybe that's the reason why he has so much blood there. But that could also got to do with his animation. But oh my goodness, he's just such a unique animatronic. He reminds me of Old Spirit. It's just the blood is starting to come back more into these animatronics, and I'm so here for it. Anyways, thank you so much guys for watching this video. This is your favorite plague doctor, the Hooded Plague, signing off because he's very tired.